Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is Lifestyle Critic, where we break down movies and TV shows into their core elements. And in this video we are going to be reviewing The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which is brand new from Netflix and is a computer animated science fiction family comedy movie that is from the same producers as Spider-Man Into the SpiderVerse. Now it is a fun movie that really focuses on a bit of a zany, dysfunctional family that are trying to stop and prevent the robot world domination and uprising. However, for me it was just really missing something, and the visual style really did take a while to get used to, but don't worry, I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, the film focuses on the relationship between quirky filmmaker Katie and her nature-obsessed technophobe father Rick. And the two of these characters just keep on clashing. One day Katie is really looking forward to starting the next chapter of her life and heading out to film school, where she really feels like she is going to be able to be herself. In a bid to build a relationship between father and daughter, Rick cancels her plane ticket to her university and instead decides to take her on a family road trip in order to go to her university. At the same time as this, artificial intelligence PAL is beginning the machine and robot uprising in a bid to send all of the humans out into space. So it's up to the Mitchell family to try and save the entire world, which is absolutely crazy. So from a positives point of view, I really love the family dynamic and the family driven storytelling in this movie, which is really, really cool. The apocalyptic robots trying to take over the world was really, really grand as well, and you could really feel the fact that everyone in the entire world is now relying on the Mitchell family. And whilst it did take a while to get used to, the unique visual style used in this movie was really distinctive as well, and I really like the emotional arcs as well. You could really see the transformations in terms of where the characters were in the beginning of the film to where they are in the end of the film. However, in terms of the negatives of this film, like I just said, the visuals do take a little while to get used to and they are a little bit much in the beginning. I do feel like they could have pushed the concept a lot further as well. Whilst I did love the concept and they definitely had a lot of fun with it, especially when they brought in certain games from the past, which is absolutely hilarious. I just feel like they could have taken a few more risks with it as well. But you know, that being said, from a storyline point of view, this film is pretty solid. So from a cast and characters point of view, like I said, all of the different characters go on brilliant arcs throughout the movie, and you can really relate to some of them and you can really learn from some of them as well. So let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Katie, who is a true scene stealer and a bit of a film stealer. She is very unique, very edgy, very quirky, and she felt like she could never really fit into school, and she felt like people didn't really get her. But the people that she was talking to in university really have similar mindsets and similar likes and dislikes as well, which I thought was really, really interesting. And I really loved the arc as well that she had with her father, and just how different they were with other things, how they were really clashing in the beginning as well, and how they transformed their relationship by the end of this movie, which is really, really brilliant. Speaking of which, next up we have the Rick character, who is truly nature obsessed and really does not like technology and is very outdoorsy, and so you can argue that he's very opposite to his daughter, but yet you can really see how they can both learn from each other and really grow in their relationship. And even though they have very different personalities and very different preferences and very different likes as well, they can actually really relate and learn from each other as well, which I thought was really, really nice. Next up we have the Linda character, and the mother and Katie's brother Aaron were a lot more secondary, as the Katie character and the Rick character were definitely front and centre. But that being said, they did flesh out Linda and Aaron enough for them to have their own little arcs as well. Speaking of which, Linda had a really interesting one in terms of having the true keeping up with the Joneses mentality, in terms of really comparing herself with her perfect quote-unquote neighbours, and really seeing how she can actually have self-worth and really has got something to bring to the table as well, which was always really, really interesting. And obviously she is a true super mother as well, especially towards the end of the movie. The Aaron character is always supporting the Katie character and actually goes on a bit of a romance story himself as well. Next up we have Mark Bowman, who is the creator of all of these brilliant technologies and all of the brilliant robots and the artificial intelligence PAL as well. And it really goes to show in terms of how destructive these can be and how you should really think about doing things in a less technologically advanced way for certain aspects of your life. Next up we have the robots themselves, who are really, really dangerous, really, really brutal, and there is a bit of a twist happening with two of the robots as well. We also have Olivia Colman playing the main villain in this film, the PAL AI, And she was just brilliantly voicing this character. In the beginning, you really do feel sorry for this character, but then she becomes really evil and menacing and ruthless in her own right as well. And then finally, we of course have the dog character, who was truly saving the day and was really completing the family as well. So from a casting character's point of view, Mitchell's vs. the Machines is actually pretty awesome. So from a visuals point of view, like I said before, it does take a little while to get used to this very different computer animation style. But that being said, you know, it is very unique. It is a little bit comic book-esque as well in certain moments. It is a little bit childish and kiddie-ish in certain moments as well. But you know, that being said, it definitely is its own thing as well. And I really like the fact that they were showing the dichotomy between really futuristic technology and a true back to basics approach, and how you can actually have best of both to be really successful. And I just really liked how they were showing constant comparisons between the two of them. And actually on the technology side, it was truly inspiring to see what the future of technology can actually look like, but also not forgetting that you actually don't need technology to have a very happy and fulfilled life as well. So from a visuals point of view, they're actually communicating quite a lot of messages in this movie, and actually really liked all of the different locations that they were going to as well. So for instance, the actual home, the university, the location where they were showcasing all of the technology, the mall that they go to, the very disappointing dinosaur exhibition, and of course the ultimate place where the final act of this movie goes, the headquarters of the tech space. So from a visuals point of view, everything was looking pretty spectacular in Mitchell's vs. the Machines. So from a comparison point of view, Mitchell's vs. the Machines is definitely its own thing in terms of how it executes this particular vision. But that being said, you know, there are other things that you can compare it to. So for example, I, Robot has a very similar machine uprising as well, similar to I Am Mother as well. The Child's Play reboot is really interesting as well in terms of seeing a technology that is supposed to be helping people go very menacing and going very evil. We also have Next Gen and Onward as well from an animation comparison point of view as well. So like I said, whilst Mitchell's vs. the Machines is definitely its own thing in terms of being really unique, it is very similar as well in terms of being a post-apocalyptic robotic style movie, which you can definitely compare to other movies within this genre as well. So overall, I have to say I really did enjoy Mitchell's vs. the Machines. It does take a little while to get used to it, but when you do, you are absolutely flying with all of the different characters. They are all very, very unique. I love the journeys that they go on, the post-apocalyptic setting in terms of this one family having to save the world, quite literally, from this machine uprising. It's actually really, really grandiose, but they were definitely approaching it from a comedic, animation-based point of view, which was really, really unique. You know, it definitely sustained my attention throughout, and for all of those reasons, I have to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.